Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Rob Moffat. Guys, every single day I have some blueberry drink. I make a blueberry drink with some protein powder and a little bit of fiber, and I put some blueberries in it and let it sit overnight, then I mix it. And I've been doing it for a long time. I've used these two different brands of protein powder to help give it some body, a little more of a shake type of consistency. So I thought today we would go over these two different types of protein powder that's available. It's a vanilla based. One is made by Orgain, one's purely inspired, and they're very similar. We'll go over the contents and then we'll mix up some just plain powder and water, put them in glasses. We'll give it a taste test and see what we think about it. So starting from this one is what I started with a long time ago, was purely inspired organic protein and French vanilla. I used it and I liked it because it would get a lot of foam when I made my little blueberry drink, and I was only using water, no dairy product or nothing that would give it foam. And then I bought this one, and because this one wasn't available, and so I don't get as much foam with this one. I kind of thought I liked this one better, and I did a taste test earlier, and we'll go over the results. So let's start with the ingredients. They're both similar in price. The purely inspired organic protein is 83 cents an ounce. This particular one comes in a 1.5 pound container. You're supposed to mix this up with 2 scoops and gives you 17 servings, where the other one, you mix it with 2 scoops and it gives you about it says 10 servings. So I'm not quite sure that math works out. The ingredients are very similar, but there are some discrepancies. The purely inspired, we're using 39 grams, and the Orgain, we're using 46 grams. So they're close to being the same amount for each serving. But I use just 1 scoop. It lasts longer. I'm just using it as a flavoring and to make the foam. But they're very similar in fat and cholesterol 0, similar in sodium and in carbohydrate. Protein almost identical, 21 and between 20 grams. However, if you notice on the purely inspired, it says there's 20 grams of protein, gives you 26% of your daily serving value. And on the Orgain, it says it gives you 21 grams, but you get 37%. That doesn't make sense. There's 1 gram difference. That's like 5% more protein, and it's like a lot more percentage. So the math doesn't add up. So there's something wrong. And most of the other, like vitamin D and so on, they're very similar. Now, getting down to the actual ingredients. This one, the purely inspired, has more chemical additives. They're very neutral or benign additives. Like this particular protein powder, it has like sodium citrate, where this one doesn't. Sodium citrate, it's basically used, well, it reduces the acidity of some foods, and it's used as a preservative. You also give foods a more of a sour and salty flavor, but at the same time you're reducing the acidity. This one doesn't have sodium citrate, so I'm not sure what they're using as a preservative. Also, this one also has tricalcium phosphate. That's basically to keep powders from caking and binding together. It's also very benign ingredients. It's approved by, even the Europeans approve it as a food additive. But this one there again, I don't think it has any. At least it's not labeled. Now they both contain a type of sugar called erythritol. I'm not a big fan of any sugars except for cane sugar and beet sugar, but the sorbitol, xylitol, those type of sugars are similar to the erythritol. And allegedly, if you can believe what you read in the research, the erythritol is supposed to be the least problematic of any of those type of sugars. But they're both present in both of the protein powders. Now, I think they both also have guar gum, which is a product that comes from a bean, and it's used. It's basically what it does is when you have powder and you add liquid to it, it thickens up the liquid, and it also binds things together. And they're both nowadays guar gums in just about everything, but they both of these contain. Now, as far as the other ingredients, this one is interesting because it has like the bacillus that you would normally find in yogurt. It has a lot of vegetables, so you don't have in this one, but you don't have actually any known volume of vegetables because it contains organic. I'm going to say organic once. Everything else is going to be organic. I'm not going to repeat organic repeatedly because everything here is organic. Organic spinach, broccoli, flaxseed, blueberry, stevia, and sunflower, cane sugar, guar gum. Where this one doesn't have those vegetables. And they both contain primarily a pea protein, where their protein comes from. Neither one of them have soy or dairy listed. The Orgain is organic pea protein, brown rice, chia seed, a creamer base, acacia, a sunflower, rice dextrin, rice bran, rosemary extract, which is interesting, and the erythritol, acacia, stevia, guar gum, xanthan, and natural flavor. There's many fewer ingredients in this one, and it's 79 cents per ounce. And the interesting thing too, the Orgain, when you smell it, it has a pleasant smell, a little bit of a coconut smell, and there's another smell an aroma I can't put my finger on, or my nose. But when you smell the Purely Inspired, they're really, it's difficult to smell anything. I'm really surprised. It's practically inert, which I don't think is a good sign necessarily. I don't want chemical smells, but I would like to have something indicating there are some ingredients in there that I want to put in a liquid and drink. So, like I said, they both have the pea protein where they're getting most of their protein from, and they're very, very similar in many ingredients, except this one does have some vegetables mentioned and things that this one doesn't. But this one has less of the chemicals than this one does, even though the chemicals are benign and standard approved things that are in many foods nowadays. So let's go ahead, and I put 1.5 cups of water in both of these containers, and they're labeled. This will be Orgain, this is Purely Inspired, and we'll put a hand blender in there and blend it up real quick and see what it looks like and tastes like. We'll just use a tablespoon. All right, I'm going to use my stick blender. Just hang on, come back in 1 second. Okay, the results are a little surprising. The Orgain, which I always didn't like as much because I didn't think it made as much foam when I put the berries in, but without the berries, it makes much more foam than the Purely Inspired. And they're both about the same color, although the foam's on top, so it's hard to tell. Let's move these to the side. Okay, this is going to be the Purely Inspired. It's a little bit dark. And this one is going to be the Orgain. There's a lot more foam in the Orgain. But when I add the berries, it must act like surfactant and just reduces the foam, because I don't get any foam when I use the berries. So let's taste the Orgain. It has a little bit of a sweet taste. It's a fresh, it's clean taste. It's not unpleasant aftertaste. I can't smell anything. There is a little bit of a chemically, let me rinse my mouth out. There's a little bit of a chemical sweet taste to it. Not unpleasant. That's the Orgain. Okay, we're going to try the Purely Inspired. This has more fiber in it. You can taste it. And it has a more, I know it's not wine or anything, but it has more full of flavor than the other one. It also has a little bit of the chemical sweetness to it, but it's got another added flavor. Neither one are unpleasant, but the after flavor, it tastes like an artificial sugar sweetener. But this one has more of a fresh, I think this one, it just has less flavor to it. There's a flavor, but it's not as strong as this one. They're very similar. They're very similar. And the foam's dissipated. However, you can still see all the foam that's in the Orgain, and there's very little foam. So I'm completely at odds with what I thought earlier, because when I make my shake, I don't get any foam with the Orgain, because I guess it's the blueberries, or maybe it's the amla powder I add. So this Orgain is also cheaper, and it has fewer chemical additives, which really aren't that big of a deal, I think. But the Purely Inspired does have the bacillus. I think that's supposed to be good for your digestion, and some of the other things that the Orgain doesn't have. So, it's kind of hard to choose between the two. Based on the foam, I would go with the Orgain. It's cheaper and you got a head of foam. But if you add some other ingredients, you may not maintain that foam. It could dissipate. You could add things that would act as a surfactant and cause that foam to dissipate. So that's my review today of the Orgain Organic Protein, which works out to 79 cents per ounce, and the Purely Inspired, which is a little more expensive, 83 cents. This one, by the way, is, I think, the most popular one on Amazon. I'll leave links to both of them. You can check them out. All right, hope this was something helpful to you. And guys, make yourself a blueberry shake. I tell you, it's a wonderful way to start a day. It's just amla powder, a little bit of fiber. Oh, this is my berries, dried berries, and you let them soak overnight. And I'll leave a link to a video by Dr. Gerber on amla powder. That might be something. And blueberries too. You might be interested in it. At health benefits. All right, I'm rambling. Time to go. Put new videos every week. And been doing it for 13 years. Got over 870 videos. A bunch of cool people I feature on my channel. No relation to me. They deny it anyway. And a bunch of playlists on all sorts of different types of things. And I got reviews on Sunday, food stuff on Friday, and wild card whatever we want on Wednesday. Take care, guys. See you out there.